All right, guys, welcome. Okay, so listen, I want to talk to the aspiring entrepreneurs out there, the people who are sick and tired of their jobs, right? You're probably, working a job, this whole thing of you're working a 9 to 5, and for some reason you're just not happy with 9 to 5, right? You're not satisfied. You want more. You're either not getting paid what you're worth, right? I can't remember who said this. I think it's Bob Proctor or someone said this is the amount of money you pay, you're getting paid is basically in direct correlation to basically the difficulty in replacing you and the demand for the skills you have, right? Let's say, for instance, everybody in North America decided not to clean their house, right? Which is kind of a thing now. People decided, you know what, they're not going to clean their house, right? And there's only one company that does cleaning services. One company that does cleaning services. Everybody said no, they're not going to do it. All the cleaning services went on strike. How do you think the demand, okay, what do you think the demand is going to be for this set cleaning company, right? What do you think the demand is going to be for this set cleaning company, right? If everybody decided not to clean their house, no other cleaning services, but there was only one. Now, you have to understand the degree to replace that cleaning service is incredibly hard now and incredibly difficult because there's no one else who's doing it, right? And the demand is high. If you have one cleaning service that has a monopoly over basically the entire market, they get to charge whatever it is that they want, right? So if you want the market to pay you what you're worth, you have to have skill sets that in correlation makes you irreplaceable. Like, for instance, there's so many people out there that say, you know what, I'm a social media manager. I manage and create content. Anybody can do that. You can hop on Canva, you can go in there and create it, and it's pretty easy. I'm going to tell you something. Listen, I'm going to talk to all the aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm going to talk to the entrepreneurs out there. The journey is not an easy one. Okay. If you are saying that you want to go be an entrepreneur, you want to go start a business, it could be anything, right? You could start a business. You could be doing basically selling physical goods, right? You could go open a store to sell physical goods, which I wouldn't do that. I'll probably try to see how I can sell it online rather than actually trying to sell physical goods, via a store, right? You could say, you know what, I'm going to go start an online business. That's absolutely totally doable as well. But also another thing you have to understand is the degree of competition is incredibly high. So if you say, I'm going to start an online business and I'm going to go sell products digitally, and then you have to understand that anyone, anywhere in India, China, wherever it may be, can create the same online product, right? Whatever it may be, it can be found anywhere. So if you're going to sell it and say, you know what, I'm going to sell it organically, organic is pretty much dead. Anyone who's trying to do anything organically if you're not going to pay to play, you're already in a saturated market, right? Because the reality is, unless you got into making money online or making money on the internet pre-2008, pre-2012, you're coming into a saturated market. Am I saying that you can't make money? No, absolutely. You totally can make money because it's arguable sides, right? There's people who are coming in right now and are making money, and there's people out there who basically starting out and are losing money. What makes them different, right? That's what I want to cover today is what makes them different. How can you make your entrepreneurship journey in a way something not get knocked out? Because the reality is it is a battle. It is basically war. It is basically survival. You have to survive and grow. And then once you survive and grow, and then you begin to dominate, right? So first thing first is I've already told you, I just want to give you fair warning. Do I believe everybody should be an entrepreneur? No, absolutely not. I don't think a lot of people are actually able to withstand pain for a long period of time. Because the word entrepreneurship is not necessarily saying, oh, I'm going to invent the next Facebook. It's saying basically is I am able to do said thing for a long period of time without actually losing enthusiasm, right? I know it sounds like there's a fancy quote somewhere, but you're basically going from failure to failure without actually losing enthusiasm. That's basically the definition of entrepreneurship. So do I think that most people should become entrepreneurs? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. I think if you enjoy comfort, stay in your 9 to 5 job. I genuinely think if you enjoy comfort, just stay in your 9 to 5 job. There's no point in doing it. You shouldn't stress yourself with the stresses of life trying to be an entrepreneur, because here's the thing is, if you really want to make more money, just learn a skill, provide more value to the company that you're currently working, and they'll pay you more. And that's perfectly fine. You don't have to deal with legal troubles. You don't have to deal with, customer service. You don't have to deal with anything. You could just basically just do your job. But if you genuinely want to be have more of an impact in the world other than the impact that basically you have it in your job, if you're doing it just for the greater good of mankind rather than monetary or financial reasons, then absolutely, I think you should go be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs are people who are pioneers, right? But the truth is, for you to be a pioneer, you have to have taken a bunch of arrows in your back. I don't think a lot of people should be entrepreneurs. I think some people should just learn to do the job that they do really well and make themselves invaluable to their set industry, to their set company, and they'll make 6-7 figures. It's pretty easy to make 6-7 figures in an industry, right? The more valuable you become in that industry, you can make the same amount of money. You can become an intrapreneur, support an entrepreneur, as opposed to actually going out there and becoming an entrepreneur and trying to reinvent the wheel, or rather pioneer a new product, when in reality, you're basically going to have to pay the price of bringing something new to market. I think most people shouldn't be an entrepreneur. And the reality is, how do you survive as an entrepreneur? I'll give you guys my journey, right? I started out as a life insurance agent, right? Selling life insurance door to door. If you've done that, I could tell you, man, it's brutal, bro. It's brutal, dude. It's brutal. I was selling door to door, and I remember days in which I would knock on people's doors, and they would look at me like I was trash, dude. They'd be like, "Why are you here? You selling life insurance? Click, snipe, get away from me." I did door to door sales. I was good at door to door sales. I think some days I was doing, I was making good money doing door to door sales, right? But you needed thick skin, right? So I started that. So I went from door to door sales to basically, I started doing basically phone sales, right? So I started selling over the phone. Then I stumbled upon the world of internet marketing. And when I came to internet marketing, I realized, I'm like, hey, you telling me that the same presentation that I'm making to Joe and Jane, I can make the same presentation to 10,000 Joes and Janes. So which means if I had a whole day that nobody bought from me, that's not possible online. Because if I'm basically making, let's say this is me, right? And back in my door-to-door sales, I'm making a presentation to one-on-one selling. In the beauty of internet marketing, advertising, running ads, I can make the same presentation to 10, 20,000 people. Okay? Which means if only 1% buy, I'm still going to make money regardless. Right? That's the reason why I love internet marketing. Is basically the internet just gave us one thing, which is connection, which gives you the ability to sell one to many. So now, how does this apply to you in your business? The main key thing you have to understand is whatever business you're in, if you have an e-commerce store, if you have a regular store, and let's say traffic is very important, right? If you want to succeed in business, you need to be able to drive traffic to your store, which means your number one job as a business owner is marketing. Marketing. Okay? I wake up very early in the morning. I'm a big proponent of waking up early in the morning because there's no distractions. I've said it sometimes. I wake up at 4 a.m. Sometimes I wake up at midnight. Sometimes I wake up at midnight 30. It all depends on how much activities I have planned for the day. But I routinely will always wake up 4 hours before I have to start my day. And most people will be like, dude, that's outrageous. Why do you wake up 4 hours prior? One, I give you a few reasons why. First thing I do for an hour is I work out. Okay. I work out for an hour because I don't have the luxury of working out in the afternoon because my schedule is typically swamped up by the day. So I work out in the morning, right? Before everybody wakes up in the morning, boom, I'm up, I'm working out. Right after I'm done working out, then I start working. Okay. I don't do this meditation stuff where you go in and you woosah and then you woosah and then you woosah. I think that's just basically procrastination, right? It's just a glorified form of procrastination. I don't do the woosah. And I recommend you guys go check out Alex Hormozi. He talks a lot about it. I just basically start working, right? I start creating content, right? Post it on TikTok. I start doing the email blasts. I start basically writing the blogs. I start editing the videos. Then I start basically building the funnels, building the websites, creating the products, fixing the online university, actually running the business. Then I start going into running the ads, doing the research, seeing how we can reach out to customers. And then I go ahead and start my day. And as the day continues, then I start doing the software programming side as well. So I keep working sometimes till the end of the night. But the reality is I am not doing it for money. I'll be genuinely honest with you. If I got paid $0 to run RIZN, I would still do it. I personally believe that the software and the product that we offer is going to make and is making a change in people's lives and has made changes in the current users that we currently have in our platform. Okay. So for me, I genuinely believe in that. So I don't mind waking up early and basically putting in time and sacrificing sleep to be able to do it. Right. But the truth is, I actually enjoy it. Right. It's kind of like workaholism kind of deal. That's what I'm saying is not a lot of people have that trait to actually just do something. And even if they get paid or not get paid, they keep doing it. Majority of people start businesses because they see some post somewhere that they can be a billionaire. You can, but the truth is most like Bezos, for instance, right? He's highly spoken about. But the reality is you don't understand is he was willing to grind for 10, 20 years, right? He was willing to be in the red, negative millions. It's not because of money. It's not about money, right? It's beyond that. It's bigger than that. So that's what I'm saying is if you're going to be an entrepreneur, do it for because you're trying to solve a problem that even if you didn't get paid to do it, you would still continue solving it. I'm genuinely honest with you. Here's the reality is this is when you give so much, I know I'm going to sound a little bit, who said, I don't even know how to say, but when you give, it's almost automatic that the universe sees what you're doing, and then the universe will automatically reward you because it's saying that this person here is given without anything and any expectation of return. Is you're spending money, and when I mean giving, not just giving your time, giving your money. Like, can you imagine getting into business to spend money? And sometimes you're like, I may not make my money back, but I'm still going to spend it. And most people cannot understand that concept, right? Because they believe when you go into business, like I'll give you an example, right? I'm not going to disclose my income, but as a life insurance agent, I made good money. And I knew a lot of people who were basically, they were making, I think I found this guy was making about 100, 110 grand a month. And he was spending on marketing about 25 G's a month, right? 25 G's a month, right? Same industry selling life insurance, right? He was making 100. So it was roughly about $1 million a year. And fast forward, right? Same industry. There was somebody else who was like, yeah, making like $2,200 a month. And I'm like, interesting. So I'm like, what is different between person A and person B? Was person B was only willing to invest his time because like, yeah, I sell to my friends and family. I get about 3 to 4 policies a month. I try to get my warm market. I make new friends. I go to the mall and network. Versus person A who was doing 100 grand was legitimately, he was like, dude, I just overspent on ads, man. I'm running ads. I'm outsourcing to marketing agencies. I don't care, dude. I got to spend 25,000 a month. He's like, he didn't say I spent 25,000. He's like, I got to spend 25,000 a month. I have to spend 20. There's a difference because when you understand something is you can make money without money. That's the truth. Eventually, when you trade your time, eventually you make money. But money is an accelerant, right? It's an amplifier. So if you really want to exceed or 10x your business, then it's almost automatic that you have to inject money in there. Think about it as a fire, right? All right. This is my idea of a fire, guys. Okay. And you start a fire. What happens if you pour or basically fresh oxygen into that fire? Oh God, that stuff's gonna explode. What happens if you pour fuel into the fire? Boom. The fire just goes all over, right? I'm gonna give you guys an example here. My sister, may her soul rest in peace. I believe this was in 2006, 2007. So I was fairly young at the time. And I remember waking up the next morning and I remember waking up to fire. The whole house was on fire, right? It was fire, it was smoke everywhere, right? And I remember we were being rushed out. My mom has a stroke, so we had to, get her out the whole 9 yards, right? And I remember my sister's door was opposite from me, and I remember just the fire all over. Like the door was sealed. Tried to break in, we couldn't break in. If you've ever been in a fire, you which hopefully you haven't, is you need to understand that the door's shut. Right? I don't know. I honestly, to this day, I haven't researched this. The door's shut. It was almost impossible just to get her out, right? But long story short, she ended up getting burnt, right? She didn't get completely burnt. by the fire, but it was to the point which was notable. Like her skin was burnt, like legitimately. She actually was like wrapped in. It was like it's like scar. Like you could see she had marks, like fire marks all over her body. It was by the grace of God that she survived. But why do I bring that? Here's what happened. She went to bed, and she went to bed with the candle on. Okay? She left the candle right next to her mattress, right next to her sheets. Okay? And the bed sheet was literally right next to the candle, right? Like the tip of the bed sheet. So long story short, the candle burned down, and then the wax started to drip, and then it was so close, the bed sheet caught on fire. And by the time she knew it, the bed sheet was on fire, the whole bed was on fire, then the whole place basically was on fire, right? That's what happened, right? I know it's a tragic story, but what do I want to say? If that candle was not next to the sheets, it probably would have burnt out. But because it had something else to amplify and stretch its reach, which was the bed sheet, it was able to burn even more. It was even able to burn even more that it became so destructive because her room was burnt. We were able to break her out. Okay, we were able to break her out. Her room was burnt. It burnt because we shared a bathroom at the time. The bathroom was burnt. Just think about the power there of an accelerant, right? It's a tragic story, but I want to use this to basically prove a point. If you really want to make an impact in life, in business, you have to understand that time and money must be used together. You cannot, once you start trading your time for money, then it's almost automatic you must use time and money together. If you only say, I'm going to just use time and no money, you're going to go out of business very soon. You're not going to survive. If you're not going to invest in marketing, you can rely on referrals as much as you can. But one bad review, 5 or 6 few bad reviews, and you're out. What happens if your referrals dry up? What happens if you're in a small community in which nobody, you have to have been in business for about 5 to 7 years, and then everybody knows you for you to actually make money? The reality is is when it comes to entrepreneurship, you have to understand it is mostly a life of sacrifice. I don't think most people should do it. But if you're going to do it, then you have to understand it is a commitment. You have to be committed to the cause, not to the result. Right? You have to be committed to actually growing, not showing. What does that mean? Growing means your personality, your life's your inner being, your inner give is growing, not about, oh, I'm gonna make $1 billion and I'm gonna become the next Jeff Bezos. Come on. You think Bezos started and said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be, one of the richest men on the planet? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But imagine being 10 years and you're not seeing results in your conquest to be the richest man in the planet. I don't think that's why he did it. I think he did it because he genuinely wanted to see a change in the world. So this video's gone on too long. The main reason why I'm just going to make it is I don't think most of you should be entrepreneurs. I think most of you should just get good at the job that you are and become so indispensable to that job that they actually promote you to the point where you're doing good. But for those people who actually have the calling to be entrepreneurs, understand that it is a life of struggle. It is a life of suffering, and you need to come to embrace it, and you need to come to enjoy it. Because only then can you start to thrive in it. For that, I say enjoy, guys. It's pretty much just kind of like a motivational stuff. Hit a like button, hit the subscribe button. And then again, if you are, remember I spoke about marketing. I didn't dive into marketing, but the one-stop shop to lead generation. If you want to generate more leads for your business, if you want to basically nurture your leads, if you want to do follow-up, everything from lead generation to census to you can literally launch Facebook ads inside of our software. And then once the leads come in, you basically send text message drip campaigns, send email drip campaigns. You can even do automated voice drops to basically get the people to actually get a voicemail from you. Everything inside of the platform that we're currently on right now that I'm using to educate you. And that's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you in another future video. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on TikTok. Go follow me on TikTok. All right. And for that, guys, I say catch you in another video.